Good day, I'm Samantha Allen and this is your JIS News for Thursday, August 22. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller's trip to the People's Republic of China has already borne fruit with the signing of 4 agreements between the two countries. They were signed on Jamaica's behalf by Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Minister Senator A.J. Nicholson and followed Mrs. Simpson Miller's meeting with China's President and Premier. On August 21, Minister Nicholson inked an agreement for the China Exim Bank to provide a preferential loan to support the Major Infrastructure Development Project MIDP. The MIDP will employ thousands of Jamaicans in the rehabilitation of roads, bridges and retaining walls. Letters of agreement on economic and technical cooperation were also signed for Jamaica to receive the equivalent of $16 million in grant aid for various projects. The two countries also agreed through letters of exchange on the construction of infant schools by China. And China is to send a technical group to Jamaica to participate in a feasibility study project called the Teaching Building of the Confucius Institute. If this is feasible, a specific supplementary agreement will be signed between both governments. Meanwhile, Jamaica's quest for more partners in development led Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller to meetings with the China Development Bank and China Gezuba Group Corporation, CGGC. CGGC is a state-owned construction and engineering firm that specializes in building bridges, dams, roads and power plants with heavy investments in highways, real estate and cement. At the August 22 meeting, representatives from the company expressed interest in partnering with Jamaica on several development projects. Mrs. Simpson Miller in turn welcomed the interest in Jamaica and said she looked forward to doing business with the Gezuba Corporation. And the Prime Minister had a warm and productive meeting with the China Development Bank. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller is in China from August 21 to 25 for an official visit to deepen bilateral relations with that country. Jamaica has met all quantitative targets and structural benchmarks for the first quarter of the year under the current program with the International Monetary Fund, the IMF. This as the IMF Mission to Jamaica, led by Yankees Martin, concluded the first staff review of Jamaica's performance under the Extended Fund Facility Program.
Program implementation thus far has been strong, and that the structural reforms under it have been progressing. All quantitative performance targets and indicative targets for end June were met.
Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips says government will further tighten expenditure, reduce the public debt, strengthen its tax collection program, and improve the efficiency of the public sector.
I am pleased with the performance of the government of Jamaica agencies in fulfilling the requirements of the program thus far. I am pleased also that many in the private sector are beginning to respond to the opportunities created under the program.
The government, along with the IMF Mission to Jamaica, was giving an update of Jamaica's performance at a press conference on Thursday. The IMF team will now submit its assessment of the country's performance to the board of the multilateral agency, and if accepted, this will pave the way for Jamaica to receive about $30 million more under the IMF program by September. Meanwhile, the central bank is projecting that the country's economy is expected to see modest growth in the range of 0 to 1% for the July to September quarter this year. At the same time, inflation is projected in the range of 2 to 3%.
Real GDP growth is projected to improve based on improved investor confidence, continued expansion in the global economy, albeit a slow recovery, it continues to expand, and more robust growth in credit to the private sector.
Speaking at the Bank of Jamaica BOJ quarterly press briefing Wednesday, Governor Brian Winter reported that real GDP contracted in the previous quarter due to the impact of drought conditions, weak domestic demand, and slow recovery in the global economy. In the meantime, Mr. Winter is reporting that net international reserves (NIR) exceeded the target of $873.9 million, recording in excess of $1 billion, while other fiscal and debt targets were also met. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Samantha Allen. Thanks for watching.